Yeah, we're good.
Hey, good morning, Joe here. It's Firearms Friday. We're in the classroom this morning here at Larry's on North Memorial Parkway. So we've had several people ask us about cleaning guns, specifically about cleaning your AR. So that's what we're going to focus on this morning, is cleaning your AR. Now, all AR platforms are basically the same, no matter if it's a 5.56 caliber, such as this one, a 308, called an AR-10 typically, or a 300 blackout, whatever caliber, they're all basically the same. So everything I'm going to tell you this morning applies no matter what. First and foremost thing, when you pick up any firearm, just like I'm going to pick this up for the first time right now, the first thing we do is we check and make sure it's safe. So we're going to look and make sure, lock the bolt back, and check and make sure there's no ammo in this one. Just like whenever you're cleaning your firearm, you don't want any ammo anywhere around at all. You don't want to take any chances of having ammo getting involved with your firearm. So this is an AR. Now, you notice I'm wearing gloves this morning. You always want to wear gloves whenever you're cleaning any firearm, no matter what kind, because you're going to be using some chemicals, and especially if you have a scrape or a scratch on your hand, you don't want that chemical getting into you. So make sure you're wearing gloves, okay? So we're going to take this thing apart, and how do we do that? Well, first of all, if you go to your AR, there's a takedown button right here. So you push that in, and you can buy little tools to help you push that in. So on this side, then, you simply take that and you pull that out. Do not pull that all the way out. Just pull it out like I've got right there, okay? Do not try to take that all the way out. There is, in fact, a channel here and a detent and a spring that holds that in. And if you pull that out, you're going to be in trouble. Now, it can be repaired. You can take this grip off and replace that, but you don't want to have to get into that. So simply pull that out until it stops. Then you simply put your bolt forward. Okay, we're going to release the bolt. Now the bolt carrier group is up here, and we're going to open it up just like that. So the main thing we have to do now is we've got to take our bolt carrier group out. So we open the charging handle, and out comes our bolt carrier group. Now this is the part that really has to be cleaned. So we'll come back to that in just a second. So right now I'm going to take this charging handle out, set that aside, and this is your barrel, okay? So cleaning your barrel is pretty straightforward. So you may remember from previous videos how this thing works, okay? So whenever you fire this thing, the cartridge is activated here in the chamber, the bullet goes downstream, and underneath here is a gas block. So part of that gas that's pushing the bullet downstream is caught by the gas block, comes back down through a tube, and engages this gas receptor tube right here. And that's what pushes this bolt back into the stock here. Also extracts, and we'll talk about that, extracts the expended cartridge case, as well as then going back forward, because there's a spring back here, and that spring pushes this back forward so that you pick up the next round out of the magazine. So that's how the ARs work. It's really quite genius. All right, so now we've got our action here apart. We're going to just take this and set the upper and the lower aside right now, and let's talk about our cleaning supplies now. I like to have some kind of material here. You can buy cleaning pads, you can buy all kinds of stuff put here. I just like to use an old t-shirt I don't like anymore. So things I need to clean this gun. First and foremost, here is something I like to use. This is called a chamber brush. You'll notice it's smaller here and larger here. And what this does, when you put this into the gun, I'm going to show you here, if you can see that go in, this cleans the chamber and the area around the outer of the chamber by doing this. But you put that in, you put a little bit of cleaner on it and twist this baby around, and then that cleans this chamber area. That's very important, because that gets really dirty, because that's where the bullet is departing the cartridge, and that's where most of the gases are whenever you fire the gun. So that's really important to clean that. All right, so how are you going to do all this? Well, you're going to have some rags, you're going to need some cleaning supplies and cleaning kit. So a lot of stuff's available now. You can buy just about anything. You can buy complete kits. This happens to be one that you can buy. You just open this up and you can see everything under the sun is in here. This is a multi-caliber kit for shotgun all the way down to 22. There's all kinds of stuff available. This is a caliber specific kit. This is for 22 up to 25 caliber. It's totally just for that particular size firearm. So this is stuff you need. This is something I really like. I use this on all my guns. CLP, cleaner, lubricant, and protectant. You can buy powder blast here. This is a gun cleaner, it's spray. There's all kinds of stuff you can get. I like gun scrubber. If I have a really dirty gun, this gun scrubber works really well. And Ballistol here, these are little wipes. You can use these just to do intermittent wiping and cleaning up with. There's lots and lots of stuff on the market. This is just some stuff we have available here at the store. There's other stuff available anywhere you want to go. All right, so let's talk about cleaning up the most important piece here, the bolt carrier group. So let's take a look at the bolt carrier group. First of all, this is your extractor here, and you'll see there's a little tiny hole there. That's where the firing pin comes through, all right? Speaking of the firing pin, that is the back end of the firing pin right there. How does that work, Joe? I'm glad you asked. So when you fire this gun, this hammer right here comes up into this slot right there and hits the firing pin. That's the way it works, okay? So let's take this thing apart, because this really is what gets super nasty and has to be cleaned. If your gun fouls and does not work, it's probably because your bolt carrier group is a mess. All right, so to do this, I'm gonna try to take this cotter pin out. I'm gonna use my helper tool here. You gotta pull this cotter pin out. You can see this cotter pin right here. Okay, pull that out. I'm gonna set that aside right here. And then I'm going to pull this locking key out. I'm gonna turn it if I can. There it is. It's a little fiddly sometimes. There it is. Firing pin is out. And now then, this whole apparatus here can come apart. I'm going to turn that locking pin like so, and it pops out. And now I can pull the extractor out. Okay, so all this, that's as far as you really want to take this down for routine cleaning. Okay, your firing pin, your extractor, your locking pin, and that. So again, you want to clean all this stuff. This is where your gas coming back down the barrel is going to impact this and push this back into the buffer. So make sure you clean that, clean all this material right here, clean it, and then you want to put just a little bit of oil. A lot of people, when I see them here in the range, my gun's jammed, and I look at it, and they've loaded it up with oil, which all that does is attract dirt and debris. So you really want to oil it, but very, very lightly. Do not cover this thing in oil. Don't like dip it in some 10W30 or anything. That's not what you want to do. You want to put very little oil on this thing. All right, so you can in fact take the extractor apart. I do not recommend doing that unless there's a problem with it. That's the actual extractor right there that pulls out the empty cartridge case. I don't recommend doing that unless you really have a problem with your extractor, okay? And that's not really, very, very likely. Okay, so now we've got our locking pin in, we've got our firing pin in, but we're not completely done. We've got a hole here. We've got to pick up our tiny cotter pin right here, and our tiny cotter pin has to go in this hole. That's the final trick, okay? And it'll only fit until it goes in. It has to fit so this bolt carrier group can slide once you put it back into the firearm. All right, so let's talk about putting it back into the firearm. We've got our charging handle. You notice there's two tiny ears here on this thing. So let's look at how this goes back together. We take our charging handle, and these ears ride in a little channel. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but they just drop right in if you get in the right spot. So once they drop in, then you can take your bolt carrier group, put it back in, and of course now this gas receptor has to be right in that channel. Put that in, and you just slide that forward, and it'll lock in. So there it is. That's all there is to it. Now, you just simply close her up, okay? Make sure your pin is back all the way. Push that forward, and you're done. That's it. Super easy peasy. So to do this, and you notice we didn't actually clean the gun, because this is one of our training guns here that we use for classroom purposes, so we never shoot this gun, basically. And what little bit of grease I got on my hand is just from the grease of handling the internals. But it would take you about 30 minutes, give or take, depending on your skill level to do this. Obviously, we don't want to take that much time in the video here because you're going to click out if you take 30 minutes of me fiddling with this thing. But that's basically what you need to do to follow and get your AR back clean. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a 5.56, 308, or whatever, the procedure's the same. That's the beauty of Mr. Stoner. Invented this thing back in the late 50s. He made this for Army people. Yeah. Army people can clean this thing and maintain it pretty well, even in the jungle. All right, so that's going to be it for this week here. We talked about cleaning your AR. Make sure you do keep your ARs clean no matter what, because that will prevent them from jamming usually. All right, that's it this week. Come and shoot with us here at Larry's on North Memorial Parkway. Remember, all of us here at Larry's want you to stay armed and stay safe. Bye-bye.